Hello there, my name is Hector. I practiced martial art, traditional martial arts, that is. I don't know, since I came to this country in '88. I think the summer, I think I came here April 6th of '88. And I think by June, I have already found a martial arts school, and I stood there until like maybe 2008, something like that, maybe later. Practice a few times a day, every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. And when not there, I practice on my own, or found some other people to go practice with, or go join a different dojo somewhere, a different school, and practice their styles too. I never took many belts. Didn't believe much in having a high degrees. Not taking anything away from those great masters out there that have high ranking. They deserve it. They have discipline. I just didn't have maybe the discipline, or didn't see the motivation for getting graded. I just knew that if you and I line up against each other in the fighting ring, for example, and we cross shots a couple of times, everybody watching would know who was the superior fighter, who is best. Even if I had a white belt or I had no belt, and you had a third-degree black belt, okay, there was no doubt. But that was never it was never by my intention of showing off higher belts. I just had that mentality of I'm just a student of this, and there is no limit on how much we can go. Okay, so what is the best martial art? What is the greatest? And this is a trick question, because there isn't. Regardless of what martial art you practice, it all depends on the individual. For example, some individuals, or most individuals, do not need any martial art training to beat somebody up to a pulp. Okay, I'm telling you, you don't have to do a single push-up, you don't have to do a single kick, you don't have to wear a gi, nothing. You just need to be country strong with a forearm like a palm tree. You hit somebody in the chest and they just die. Okay, so fighting has nothing to do with martial arts. Martial art styles have nothing to do with fighters, and less have to do with choosing which is best. You just choose one because you choose one. It's just an exercise, mental and physical exercise that is practiced by many people, based primarily on their cultural of choice. Some of them maybe have a Chinese bend, so they picked a Kung Fu style, or Korean style, or Japanese style, or whatever it is. Okay, but that doesn't mean that one is better than the other one. There are what I call civil arts, and there are martial arts, and then there are fighting arts, if you will. Fighting arts, for example, like a mixing of boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, maybe. That would be one of the best one-on-one comeback, for example. One-on-one comeback. If you want to fight someone, then it's fine. You could just probably grapple on the floor or whatever, and you could probably eventually submit him and don't let him punch you out. But if you're fighting like one or two people maybe, and you want to be able to put a couple of quick strikes here and there, probably a striking art, maybe like boxing or kickboxing, maybe like Muay kickboxing, maybe a good thing to have. But if it's on one, nothing is like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, nothing at all. You could be 3 months into it, and you could just grab somebody that has like a 5th-degree black belt on karate or whatever it is, and you're just gonna kill them. Okay, but that's not what makes a martial art better than the other one. Okay, a martial art has nothing to do with a fighter. In fact, a good fighter may not necessarily be a good martial artist, and an excellent martial artist may not be a good fighter. And that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that that's a bad person, that is wrong to do, that style sucks. No, you just have to know that when you practice, for example, a style of like taekwondo or karate, whatever it is, it's not something that you are going to defend yourself with. If you truly want to defend yourself, you should get a permit and get a gun. G-U-N, a gun. Get some training how to use a gun. Protect your family, train them, and then buy them guns. That is the ultimate self-defense. A gun in your pocket. Okay, that's it. Beyond that, you're gonna have, for example, what I used to tell my students was when I used to teach, fighting. When we fight, if I'm fighting with you, I am gonna hit you with the first thing I find. Okay, whatever it is I find, a pencil, a rock, my shoe, my belt, my shirt, my pants, my dirty socks. I could spit on you, throw dirt, throw sand, get a branch, something. Okay, if I do not have anything, if I am, I don't know, for some reason on my underwear in the desert and I do not have enough sand to throw at you, then I am going to make it difficult for you to probably kill me that easy, because I'm going to defend myself. My body's a little bit tough. I did a lot of push-ups, so I could take a couple of blows. So it's going to take you longer to kill me, okay? So that I used to tell my students, like, this is like if you are caught in the shower, if you somehow there's a fight or whatever, you're going to have a chance of not making it so easy for your opponent to kill you, okay? That is the only chance. But when you're fighting, you are fighting. This is not pretty. It's not cute. We don't have to bow. It's just fighting, eye gouging, eating your nose off, biting your neck and chewing your flesh. That type of fighting. That does not require any training. That is built into each person. It's like a Mike Tyson at the beginning, one of the most devastating fighter ever, because he was insane. That is the level of that's the type of person you have to be. In a ring, under rules, that person's going to suffer, whatever. But if you just let him free, like a lion, it's just gonna tear you up. Okay, so that is what a fighter is. Like somebody has to be a little bit insane, a little bit crazy. That's what a good fighter is. If you're trying to tame, if you try to civilize a fighter, then you are going to mess them up. That is usually what happens to great fighters, great athletes. Too many coaching, too many psychological training, you mess them up. A fighter is a little bit rustic. It's like an imperfect blade, but it could cut through stones. That cannot be taught nowhere. You cannot teach that at a martial arts school, regardless of whether you call it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu or what Japanese, Kenjutsu, whatever it is. You are born with it. Okay, you are either capable of fighting or you are not capable of fighting. Okay, there's no such thing as a dead touch, like somebody just touching you with a palm and you die 3 days later, or with a finger. That doesn't exist. Like a kick of death or punch of death, there is no such thing. That's just a myth from the past, when, for example, in Asia, only the great military people were allowed to practice, and they themselves were the one who ate. The rest of the population didn't eat. They were starved. So you get, for example, a 300-pound man general coming against a peasant which weighed 45 pounds, and he hits him with the back of his hand in his chest. The guy's just going to drop dead. But not because of the general's deadly hand strike. It's because the guy's dying. Anybody could kill him. But then the myth comes up. Oh, generals chow fried chicken pot kills people. That is the style to use. No, it's because this guy has an armor on, and like I said, he weighs 250 pounds. He eats a whole pig for dinner. So he just punches a little peasant, and he's gonna his heart is gonna come off through his nose. Okay, but again, most of those styles are just based on myth, which is not going to cut it on a real fight. But again, if you really want to defend yourself, if you are worried about defending yourself, do not pick a martial art. Pick a military art, like and buy a gun and learn how to use it and get a permanent carrier. Then nobody could mess with you, because you could blast them from a mile away, okay, and very quick, and you could attack, and you could go against multiple opponents, okay. Otherwise, if you just practice an art for like 100 years, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden you could defeat anybody. That's a lie. That doesn't work like that. You could have like a 20-degree black belt. Somebody from the street that does construction could just wring your neck in 2 seconds. Okay, because again, these are martial arts. This is like civil art. The deadly part of it is being taken away, and we concentrate a lot in myth. So we put this false idea on our head that we are invincible, that we could just, I'm a black belt, so I'm a lethal weapon, I could kill anybody with one punch. That's a bunch of bull. That doesn't work like that. On one-on-one, still, one of the greatest martial arts to this date is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hands down. And if you know boxing, even better. Boxing standing up is the best defense for quick striking, striking in the head, which are deadly and very effective. And if it happens, if most fights will eventually land on the ground, either you on top or somebody on top, then jiu-jitsu will allow you to survive by tiring the next person out and then just choking them out, or just get away from me, you cannot fight me anymore, and then just walking away. And again, I do not mean any disrespect to those great masters out there who have sacrificed 30, 40 years, 50 years of their life to perfecting an art form. That is fine. There's a lot of people that you thought and that you help in the discipline, in the art, in the history and philosophy of the art. That is perfectly fine. They are great doctors and lawyers and other high office holders that are practitioners of this art. But these are not fighting arts. Do not try to use them against on a real fight, otherwise you're going to get killed. Okay, and then you're going to say, "Oh, this style is not good." It's not that. You should know from the beginning that this is not what you want. You have to actually know what is it that you want. What do you want to learn? How much time do you want to give? And what is it that you want to look for? You want to look philosophy or artistic or athleticism, or But if you want to like real fighting, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you want to really defend yourself, buy yourself a gun, get a permit, and then that's it. Nobody could mess with you, regardless whether 6 of them, 1 of them, 100 feet away from you, on top of you. You could just blow their heads out. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Again, I apologize if I offended any traditional martial artists out there. This was not my intention, but it was mainly to bring conscience to this, to put things into perspective, which is I think is a great thing that every martial art master or instructor must also be able to give to any new students. Let them know exactly what it is that you will do here and what it is that you will not gain from these classes here. Okay. And allow them to experiment with other martial arts. Again, if they want to defend themselves, absolutely, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and boxing is the way to go. And if they have very strong legs and then probably some Muay Thai kickboxing, for a quick leg break, whatever. Okay. So I'm going to leave this video up to here. I don't intend to get any raise out of anybody, but if you have any comment, if you like the video, if you do not like the video, leave me some comments below, and I appreciate that. Right? Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Hector. Bye bye.